Let's try that again. Good afternoon. All right. I hope you've had a wonderful 1 or 2 days with us. We're really happy that you've been with us, and we hope that you've enjoyed our 10th annual conference. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our closing speaker for our closing session. William Martinez is an accomplished actor and singer who for the past 20 years has traveled performing around the world. He has appeared in television, film, commercials, voiceovers, and musical theater productions. He has won 2 Telly Awards, 2 AVA Digital Awards, including the coveted Platinum on Camera Motivational Inspirational Talent Award, and in 2018, a Broadway World Award. However, none of that would have happened if it wasn't for one teacher. He shares that transformational moment with you today in The Power of Belonging, the keynote he created for the teaching profession. Aside from inspiring educators nationwide, William finds time to work with inner city schools, bringing music and theater to schools without arts programs. Get ready to sing, laugh, and be touched by the power you have as an educator. Ladies and gentlemen, William Martinez.
Hello, hello. How was lunch? How was your last session? It was good? It was good? Awesome. Another round of applause for Heather and Tara and everyone at Apples for Children for putting on such an awesome conference. We're almost done. Thank you, thank you. Also, I want to say a huge shout out back there to Marley and also Jason for setting up. Thank you for the lights, the sound, the video. Give them a round of applause. Thank you for all of your help. All right, so just like Heather said, my name is William Martinez. And today, I want to take the opportunity, come on in. I want to take the opportunity to recognize the 2 most important people in a child's life. Now that's parents and educators. And I'm going to achieve that celebration in 3 different, unique ways. The first way is through sharing with you my personal life story. The second way is through song. I will be singing today. Contain your excitement. I heard someone's really afraid. Oh, you're back. I see where you are. Oh, you brought your vodka. That's good. And the third way is through American Sign Language. But I'll get to that part just a bit later. But first, can everyone raise their right hand? We're going to be using our hands. So we're going to warm it up. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Good, good. Left hand, shake it. Both hands. You guys look hilarious. Hands up. Right hand back up. Now keep your hands raised if you had a special teacher in school who pushed you just a little bit harder so that you could succeed. How about a teacher or a coach who helped you discover new talent or skill? How about a teacher who made math fun? Starting to lose some hands over here. Some of you are like, I put my hand down, but yes. Or how about a teacher or an administrator or a member of our incredible support staff, someone at school who just made you feel important, worth it, seen, safe, and loved? Raise your hand really high. Take a look around. Looks like almost all of us. Good. Hands down. Whether it's elementary school, middle school, high school, college, University of Phoenix Online, we all had teachers who helped shape our minds, build our confidence, and give us the tools to be able to follow our dreams. And then there's our parents, right? You know, showering us with unconditional love, driving us to and from soccer practice, rooting us on at the game even when we lost, which for my team was always, and then buying us all the necessary things we needed in order to complete all those extracurricular activities. It's incredible. Well, my story is similar to that, but mine's a little more quiet. So let me explain. I was born to a deaf mother and a hearing father. And when I was 3, my parents decided to divorce, and they went to go live with my mother. Now, because my mother was now a single mother and I an only child, I grew up in what's called a deaf or silent household, meaning that I didn't have a TV growing up. We didn't listen to the radio. We didn't go to rock concerts and movies for entertainment. No. My mom and I, we stayed home and we read books. We played board games or card games. My mom's a beast at Uno, trust. But most of the time, my mom and I, we just sit at home and exist in silence. Now, there were the occasional times my mom and I would go out and hang out with our fellow deafy friends at the Deaf Club, but let's face it, no kid wants to hang out with his parents' friends. And that was the extent of my extracurricular activities. Now, fun fact, my first language was sign language or American Sign Language or ASL, not spoken English. And because I spent most of my time at home, my spoken language skills were nowhere near as developed as other kids my age. In fact, the only time I got to practice my spoken language skills was either when I was interpreting for my mom, which sometimes could be often, or when I was visiting my dad and his family, which was not very often. Now, you'd think that I would learn language skills at school, and I did, but nowhere near the extent the other kids did. You see, my mom and I, we moved around a lot, oftentimes not knowing where we were going to end up next. So there was always this gap between me attending my old school and my new school. And by the time the teachers at my new school realized I was failing all my classes, my mom and I, we'd move again. We'd move in with a friend and she'd sleep on the couch and I the floor. We lived in a car, we lived in a homeless shelter. And even for a period of time, we lived in our storage unit. And because of all that moving, according to records, I attended almost 20 elementary schools, 20. Always showing up, not knowing anyone, and not having the social skills to be able to make friends. So I was quiet. More like silent. Silent on the outside, but on the inside, nothing but fantasies, dreams. But you see, these dreams are not like normal kid dreams, right? I didn't dream of growing up to be a firefighter or a doctor. You know, I had no concept of what a movie star was or even a superhero. You know what my dream was? It was to be noticed, heard, and not be seriously weird. I was so weird. I wanted to stay in one place and have stability, friends. I wanted people to understand why I moved my hands every time I spoke and wouldn't just point and laugh. I wanted to do all the activities all the other kids are doing. I just wanted to fit in. That was my dream. I wanted to belong to something, anything. Place both of your hands with your palms facing each other like this. Good. Now take your pointer finger and your thumb and place it into a circle, almost like the perfect sign, right? Good, looks good. Now link those two circles together. This is a sign for together or belong in American Sign Language, together or belong. So let's sign it together. Good, one more time. Awesome. It's also the sign for connect. I'm connecting to you and you are connecting to me. So wherever I was, my mind was somewhere else, wishing, wanting, hoping, just longing to belong. Everything has a season. Everything has its time. Show me a reason, and I'll soon show you rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill. Children fit in the snow. Why do I feel like I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've gotta be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams. Every man has his goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, and nightingales have their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've gotta be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. So yeah, that was all on the inside. On the outside, I was just your classic mouth breather. But on the inside, it was a Broadway show. No, I was just living in a fog, just existing. And sometimes I think my mom was too. I never really took into account her experience and all this and the struggles that she had to overcome being a single deaf mother. You see, my mom and I, we never saw eye to eye. And it wasn't because we didn't want to, right? It was that we were living in different worlds. She a deaf world and I a hearing one. And there's nothing wrong with either world. Do y'all get that? Do y'all get that?
Yes.
Good. Because the deaf world is perfect. It's beautiful, it's artistic, it's brilliant, its culture is incredibly welcoming, and its language is gorgeous, complex, should be recognized as a national language, and should be taught in schools. So my mom and I, we didn't get along. It had nothing to do with her being deaf and me being hearing. It had everything to do with the fact that she was my mother and I was me. Does that make sense? And I'll tell you, I think my mom is a rock star, and she thinks she's funny. All right, fast forward, 8th grade. I'm transferring to yet another school, number 21. And as usual, I was transferring after the semester started. So when they were selecting all my classes for me, all the electives were full, except for choir. So I showed up to choir class the same way I'd show up to any other class, weird, quiet, numb, just powerfully breathing through my mouth. But that is where I'd meet the teacher who would change the course of the rest of my life. My 8th grade choir teacher, Miss Norma Freeman. Now, Miss Freeman, she had this little soft voice and this warm smile, and she'd greet us every time we'd come through the door by name. And there was 80 kids in that 8th grade choir room alone, and she knew all of our names. And she was patient with us, like really patient, like I'm teaching middle school and I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize patient. Well, after a couple days, Miss Freeman could definitely pick up on the fact that I was not very social. So she invited me to spend some of my after-school time in the choir room. And so I did. And there's always kids hanging around, and they were singing or playing the piano, or she was teaching them how to play the guitar. Just this totally relaxed and safe environment. Well, one day, Miss Freeman invited the kids that were hanging around after class. She invited them to come up to the piano to practice one of the songs we were learning in choir class. So all the kids are all excited. They go running up, la, 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 la. And I just hung back, and I just stared at her. It was so creepy. But you know what? Miss Freeman never judged me. She never embarrassed me. She never called me out in front of my peers. Instead, Miss Freeman let me be me. And day after day, she tried to get me to sing. It was kind of a requirement to pass the class. You have to sing in choir, whatever, but I just wouldn't do it. So finally one day, Miss Freeman changed up her little tactic. And she said, William, can you come up to the piano by yourself? So I slowly walked up to the piano, and she played a simple scale, and she asked me to sing it. La 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 la. Can I go now? Wow, William, you have a really good voice. You're a singer. And then the fog lifted. It's like the first time in my life that someone saw me as something, that I was important, that I was seen, that I could take up space in this world. I was so excited. I ran home to tell my mom, Mom, I'm a singer. What? Yeah, she wasn't as excited as I was. Son, I'm deaf, remember? I can't hear you sing. Why don't you play sports so I can see you succeed? But singing and music, your mom is stuck. I was devastated. But you know what? My mom was too. She was just scared about something she knew nothing about, but I continued attending choir class, and for the first time in my life, I actually wanted to go to school. I was becoming social. I had friends. You can totally clap for that. William had friends, yay. Thank you. All right. So a couple months later, Miss Freeman makes this big announcement that there's going to be this vocal presentation for our parents, and she had chosen a couple students to sing a solo. Right? Yeah. I was so excited, but instead of being like any like normal kid and like standing be like, oh, thank you. No. I literally in the middle of choir class, we're in the middle of a song, and I stood up and I go, Miss Freeman, my mother is deaf. And never she can't hear me sing, and so can you just please choose another student because I'm freaking out. And I started sobbing. And she goes, whoa, hey, wait a minute, William, hey, buddy, wait. I tell you what, why don't you just sing and sign your song? That way your mom can understand. So I went home and I came up with a plan. Okay, so it's the night of the show, right? I'm freaking out. I'm like running around. My mom's like, how much sugar have you consumed? Stop running. It's funny. We get in the car. We drive to school. Beep, beep. And thank you for that laugh. We were at school and we walk into the cafetorium. And I'm like, okay, I got to find my mom a seat off to the side. Still in the front row, but off to the side. Hey, Mama. Hi. So Mom is there. Okay, so Mom's there. Like, cool, Mom's taken care of. So I got to walk to my seat. You know, when you're middle school, you got to walk cool, you know what I'm saying? So I get to my seat. Just as I sit, I realize the entire audience is facing us. I did not plan for this. And then the show started. Okay. So I may not have been like 150% truthful about what tonight was, because I knew if I did, my mom wouldn't come, right? Right? So instead, I may have told my mom that tonight was a visual presentation of my science project. Instead, she was witnessing 13-year-old children singing I Dreamed a Dream and Climb Every Mountain. I looked at my mom's face. Yeah, she wasn't climbing any mountain. As a matter of fact, my mom was lost, confused. My mama was heartbroken because I lied to her. She was sitting in a room full of hearing people who knew when to laugh, when to clap, when to cry. And instead, she just sat there feeling like an idiot. Because of me. So I froze. I didn't know what to do. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw Miss Freeman look at me, so I looked back. And she smiled, so I smiled. Holy poop. Everybody's looking at me. Especially my mom. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye. And it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They won't turn their head as they see me ride by. But a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. things going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. But a weeping old willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. My body was completely frozen. I looked at my mom's face. She was smiling. For the first time in her life, my mama heard me sing. Because of Miss Freeman, my mom got to experience music through American Sign Language. By her own kid. What an incredible teacher, huh? Miss Freeman changed 2 lives that night. Place your hands like this. Elbows up. Now, from your head, shake it. 1, 2. 1, 2. It's a sign for teach. Teach. Good. So we have? You can talk too. So you were talking earlier when you're coming in, all of a sudden now you're quiet. I see how it is. You ready? We're going to say the word together. Ready? Together. And? One more time? Together. Teach. Good, good. Well, I thought my mom and I were finally going to be in our worlds together. She was going to be like, that was amazing. Ooh. But the ride home was really awkward. You see, somebody forgot that they had lied to their mother. And if you can imagine that car ride home being even quieter than normal, because she's deaf, she doesn't talk, so it's even quieter. Okay, anyway. So we finally get home. We get home, and my mom turns to me, and she signs, "Son, your sign should be bigger, stronger, really fill the room, deaf power, yeah!" And she walked off into her bedroom. As I started towards mine, she stomped her feet to get my attention. Good job. Me, proud. You, Mom, feel what? Special. That night, it was a game changer. My mom and I's relationship, it grew to a new level. Laughs are more frequent. She let me win a game of Uno. And she was even open to me teaching her how to speak, a little peek into my hearing world. Well, as for me, I was singing all the time. You couldn't shut me up. Yep, we'd be at the grocery store, I'd be singing, I'd be at the doctor's office, I'd be in my bedroom singing. My mom would open up the door, thank God I'm deaf, slam. So then I thought, what would be so cool? What if I taught my mom how to sign a song? We could sign, I would sing it, we could do it together. So she bragged to all of her deaf friends. I'm gonna be the first deaf singer, ooh. Hear me on the radio, la 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 la. I'm gonna join Def Leppard. She's such a kick. No, she was reluctant at first. She really was. But once she got the hang of it, my mom actually loved it. So this is my mom and I's song. Raindrops keep falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to greet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet. You guys know this song, right? You know Raindrops, yeah? All right, sing with me and follow my hands. We're gonna sign together. Ready? Here we go. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Now shake your head no, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying. I actually bought my mom that cassette tape. Yes, I said cassette tape. And we'd play it in the car. We'd crank up the bass real high. We was bumping some Raindrops, y'all. Yeah. Driving down the highway, freaking everyone out. Just All right, let's sing inside it one more time. You ready? Shake your hands. Getting ready? Sing really loud. Here we go. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Nothing's worrying me. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job. I love it. I'm gonna get a little sip of my vodka. Just kidding, Heather. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha, not vodka. Her face, she's like, what? Not vodka. It's gin. All right, you ready to learn another sign? Are you ready to learn another sign? All right, there we go. So in American Sign Language, we have your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, you're perfect. If you're left-handed, you're perfect. Everybody's perfect. You can clap for that. Come on, yeah. We are all perfect. So the hand that you write with, shake. That's your dominant hand. The hand you do not write with, shake it. Now, that's the hand shaping that non-dominant hand. Let me see it. It's not spirit fingers, not at a rally. Bring it in. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Close those fingers in. And in front of you, same hand shape with your dominant hand. Let me see it. Good, good, good. Now chop it in half. That's a sign for? They know that sign real well. My kids, look, if I do this, you got 1 second, then everything gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Show me stop one more time. Wow, okay, I got that, you got it. Okay, let me teach you one more sign. Act like you're opening up a doorknob. Let me see it. Good, good. Beat it against your chest. This is a sign for complaining. Stop complaining. Gentlemen, I'll do this for you again. That's the first time you've smiled. Yes, okay, good. I'm kidding. Just show me stop complaining. Stop. Are you taking notes? What are you doing up there? Oh, are you writing who you're going to sign that to? Be like, oh, is that what happened? Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's that? Oh, not your fault at all. Mm-hmm. You can tell me the whole story. Just kidding. Because I'll tell you, stop complaining are my mom's two favorite signs to sign to me. Because, okay, if I were to say, what's your name? Hi, Amanda, I'm William. So if Amanda and I are having a conversation and I start complaining and Amanda goes, stop complaining, but if you say that, what does it feel like in spoken English? What happens to our connection? Totally disconnected, right? Stop complaining. Because we know in education, we don't want to stop action. Action's great. We sometimes need to course correct that action. But we want action. We want participation, right? And if someone says to me, if Amanda said, William, stop complaining. Whoa. Am I not important enough for you to listen to what's going on, right? It's not a powerful statement. It doesn't keep that connection. But in American Sign Language, it's so much more powerful. First off, show me the sign for complaining again. Who are you pointing at? Mm-hmm. A little feedback for you. Because my mom, she would always say this to me and do this with me. She'd go, you, shake your head, no, do it with me. You, do. Once again, you, do. This is a sign for do or doing or get in action. My mom would tell me, you're the most powerful person in your life. You're the most powerful person until you give that power away to something or someone else. My mom would always say to me, you know what? I can complain about a lot of things. I can complain about what? This. But guess what? I can't change this. I can change this. I can change this. But I can't change this. So why focus on this? Why do we focus on the things we can't change? We give that power away, right? And to hear that from my mom, because obviously if you're like, well, that's a very good excuse for why you can't do some things. My mom was like, why would that be an excuse? I'm perfect. I'm whole. I'm complete. This is just a part of me. It's what makes me special, unique. If I complain about it, it becomes a reason why I stop living. So I have to focus on the things I can change, which is my heart, my mind, my actions. I'll give you another example. I live in Los Angeles, California some of the year. And if you don't know Los Angeles, I live in the San Fernando Valley. If you know Los Angeles, that's the sheep area, Los Angeles. And then there's Los Angeles, Hollywood Boulevard and all that. And then I have some friends that live in Santa Monica. They live in, Manhattan Beach, like where all the money is. Well, we would have this Tuesday standing movie date. It would take me to go 26.2 miles, 2.5 hours to get from my door to movie. So you can imagine my mood when I showed up to movie. I wouldn't have none of it. I was so mad. I would just walk in. I'd always be like 5 minutes late. I'd walk in with whatever snack I was. This is unbelievable. This is ridiculous. You can't even believe that. The traffic was absolutely so terrible. And you know what it is? When you merge, it's you go, I go, you go, I. It's a zipper and use your blinker. Wow, William. We're so glad we invited you. So guess what happened? They stopped inviting me. They did. I thought T-Mobile done broke my phone. I was like, there's something wrong with my phone. So I called my friend Rebecca. I'm like, Rebecca, when are we going to do movie? She's like, ooh. Well, actually, we're going today. I'm like, today? Oh, I knew there was something wrong with my phone. I've received no text. I've received no calls. Why? That's because we didn't call you. What? William, here's the thing. We love you and you're funny sometimes. But the thing is, you show up and you're just in this terrible mood and you just start complaining about the traffic and you make us feel guilty for inviting you to bring you all the way down here when you know the traffic's just going to be the traffic. And so we're supposed to have this great day and have fun and camaraderie and hang out with friends, and instead we leave worse than when we came in. So we just feel it's best if you just didn't come. Oh. I didn't realize it was Feedback Friday. Ooh, I was so mad. I hung up that phone. I sat in the middle of my living room and I did this monologue for nobody, this Oscar-winning performance as I was like, just talking to no one. Literally complaining about something. Can I change LA traffic? Can I change it? No. But like my mom said, I can change my what? My attitude about it. I can change my mind about it. Because the thing is, my car has always been my person. I hated the car. I hated being in the car. I always hated the car. And I was always trying to teach people how to drive with my tinted windows. Right, I'm in the car suffering, making all these faces that nobody can see, and then I'm wondering why I'm in a grumpy mood. You know why I'm in a grumpy mood? It ain't the traffic. It's who? Me. I was creating the mood. Sitting there showing them some other sign language I can't show you all today. Getting all upset, and then I'd arrive at my destination and wonder why I'm in this terrible mood. It's because I created it. So going back to what my mom said, I was like, okay, traffic's gonna be traffic. It's gonna be 2.5 hours, whether I'm happy or sad. So why don't I choose happy? Well, sometimes sad, sometimes, it's a good day to say. No, I'm gonna choose joy. I'm gonna choose inspiration. So now what I do, I either listen to some 70s and 80s music, because I know all the lyrics, or I call a friend I haven't spoken to in a while and I plan it. So I look forward to the drive. Or my favorite new thing, who here listens to podcasts? Raise your hand. Oh, a bunch of you. I love music. Radio Lab is my new thing. But so I listen to, a podcast. I show up, I've solved a crime, I've learned about all these things. And I'm so excited. So I show up, I'm like, oh my gosh, did you know there's this girl who was born on a farm, but they didn't register her birth. And so then she didn't get a social security number. And so she grew up, but then she kind of left her family and she went to go get a driver's license, but she can't get a driver's license because she has no social security number. And so she's standing in front of these people. Who am I being now? Am I complaining about the thing I can't change, or am I inspiring people about a story that has gotten me all excited? Same William, same traffic, different intention. So I want us to do our signs again, but I want you to think about when you do stop complaining, as joyful as that would be to some of our family members, be like, Aunt Lillian, I've heard all the things. But actually, if you think about it, in your buildings with each other, that's such a great way, instead of Amanda saying, William, stop complaining. It's just between you and me. Can you show me, Amanda? Yeah. So now I know Amanda's my power partner. Amanda's like, let's go from here to here. What do we have control of? How can we get in action? And I'm part of that. I'm your power buddy. How can we get in action? What can we do about the traffic, William? Because what can we not control is the traffic. What we cannot control is how long it's going to take you to get here. What we can control is what you're going to do at that time. So let's create a plan. Because those 2.5 hours, you're in charge of. So I want us to do our signs again, but this time I want you to think about that sign, that stop complaining, and utilize that as a tool with each other to get back in action, out of suffering, out of anger, and back into productivity, joy, happiness. Yeah? So let's do our signs together. We have? Good, love it. All right, so back to my story. So I thought, like I said, my mom and I thought we were gonna it's gonna be so amazing. And our relationship, it really did grow to this new level. But there was one thing that my mom just couldn't handle. And that was, I wanted to have music be a daily part of my life, and she just couldn't handle that. She was too scared. So she walked the talk. She took her own advice. And she did something that she describes as the most hardest decision she's ever made, and that is she called my dad. You see, my dad had been trying to be a large part of my life ever since the divorce, but my mom was really, really protective of me. But nonetheless, she called my dad. They met, they discussed, and they decided that I'd move out of my mom's house and in with my dad. But there was one big problem. And that was my dad lived across town, and I knew that meant me transferring to yet another school. Son, what time do you need to be at school tomorrow? I don't know. I've never been there before. What do you mean? Been there? Dude, you've been going there for 6 months. Oh, you mean Prairie? Well, that's like across town. I need to be there at 8:35. 8:35. Why can't it be 8:30? They got to add the 5? All right. Well, I have to be at work at 7 a.m., so we're going to leave this house at 6 a.m. sharp. You got that? I got it. We did that for 1 week. And the week after that. And the week after that, dropping me off, picking me up, adding 4 hours to commute for 5 months. And then when his lease was up in his apartment, he moved to an apartment that was right down the street from my school, which was super far away from his work. My dad refused to let me transfer to yet another school, knowing how important my relationship had become with Miss Freeman and my friends. But that wasn't his only sacrifice. I was still dumber than a box of hair. Thank you to those who laughed at that joke. No, my education level was poor as I was failing all my classes. Well, I was doing pretty good in choir. But I was failing all my classes. I had no educational foundation. I didn't understand timetables, or I didn't have a sense of reading or writing comprehension. So you know that phrase, he taught me everything I know? That's 100% true about my father, my dad, Bill. And as I'd continue into high school, he would attend every choir, concert, parent, teacher meeting, all my track meets, always showing up in corduroy pea shorts, a matching tank top, and smelling like Hawaiian Tropic Tanner lotion, dude. Yeah, man, that's my kid. That's my son. Hey, William. Dad, shut up and sit down. You smell like coconut. No, because of my dad, I was passing my classes, I was making lifelong friendships. And for the first time in my life, I was thinking about the future. My dad gave up his whole life so that I could live into mine. So yes, thank you. So I have a nickname for him, and that nickname is BDE, Best Dad. Yeah. But there's one thing that poor man endured, and that was me singing my choir songs until 2:30 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, never bothered my mom. Think about it, she's deaf, all right. But I'd sing all 4 parts, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. I'd sing and I would sign, I would sing lyrics, I would sign. But you know what he'd do? Every morning, he'd walk by my door, he'd knock. Hey, Hito, you sounded pretty good last night, dude. Thanks for the free show. He'd tell me that every morning. So sometimes when I'm having a really rough day, I'll sit in the middle of my living room and I'll sing and I'll sign one of my dad's favorite songs. Now the singing, it just like calms my body and it kind of settles my mind. But when I sign it, it lowers my body and my heart rate and it calms me down. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow, and I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. You ready to learn another sign? Want to learn another sign? Good. Place your hands like this. Cross it over your body. That's the sign for? That's the sign for love educators. Always know what that sign too. So we have
Together, teacher, God, waiting.
Good. I want to make one correction. I'm hearing a couple people say teacher. The sign that I'm teaching you is teach. The sign for teacher is teach person, but we're just doing teach. So let's make that correction. We have Good, good. Well, I experienced a significant amount of incredible love at Overland High School in Aurora, Colorado. And I want to share a story with you I normally don't share, but I felt that it would be really incredible to share with you this morning. So I'm going to be a little vulnerable. That's all right. Like I said, I experienced some incredible love at Overland High School. But there was one person in particular at Overland that really, basically saved my life. Now, I was a pretty difficult kid. Because I didn't have the language skills to be able to communicate, I was violent. I would spit, I would hit, I would throw, I would flip desks, I would throw books, I would yell. Because I didn't have the tools to be able to communicate. And so I spent a lot of time at the principal's office. But there was one person at that school, like I said, that changed my life, and her name was Miss Pat Rolls, and she was the school secretary. And she was this most incredible human being because she would substantiate you. She'd make you feel so special in just a second. You'd walk down the hall and she'd be like, oh, isn't it the track star? I heard you ran so fast, and I heard you wrote the most beautiful essay. And isn't that the singer? And aren't you playing the tuba? And whatever it was, the minute she'd see you, she'd call you out, or she'd be like, I love that sweatshirt on you today. You looking gorgeous. Yes, you are. And you'd walk by her, and all of a sudden you'd walk a little taller. You felt seen, heard, important. You felt famous. And she would do that with everyone. Well, like I said, I spent a lot of time in the principal's office. So when I'd walk into that room, into the office, you would think she'd be like, oh, what'd you do now, Martinez? She didn't. Every time I'd walk in, well, if it isn't the lead of the musical Sky Masterson, what do I owe the pleasure? And you know what? My tough guy thing would just melt right in front of her. She instantly knew how to get me back into my body. So simple, just to acknowledge me. Well, anyway, it was around my birthday. It was my sophomore year, and I was really struggling with just understanding how to communicate. I was still struggling with tone of voice in regards to that meant angry or not angry. I was so used to looking for physical cues. I was still struggling making friends, but I was also just really struggling in school. They wanted to put me back in 5th grade, and my dad said, nope, we're going to do it. We're going to figure it out. And so by that point in my sophomore year, it was right around my birthday, and I just really felt like I was becoming a true burden to everybody. And I didn't want to be a burden to anyone anymore. So like I said, it was right around my birthday, and I remember this because I asked my dad for one present. And the only thing I wanted for my birthday was an answering machine. Thank you for not laughing. Normally people are like, what did he just say? What is that? So an answering machine, if you don't know, is this 2 cassette tapes. But it was this big machine, right, that you'd have to put on a phone stand. Yes, that was furniture, because your phone was attached to the wall. And you got this thing, and what was so incredible about it is you'd go home, and there'd be this little red light, and it would blink. And you knew how many people called. You'd be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Well, 5 were me checking my messages, whatever. But still, like 7 people called me, right? But we never had an answering machine before. Well, so my sophomore year, and I am really struggling mentally. And I started to have some dark thoughts. And those dark thoughts turned into dark plans. And those dark plans turned into a date. And that date arrived, and I stayed home from school. My dad obviously left early because he worked so far away. And I'd written all of my plans down in this spiral notebook that I would keep underneath my bed. And I sat in the middle of the living room, and I opened up that notebook, and I started reading all these words that I'd written about myself, and also the plans. And then the phone rang. Now, obviously, I'm not going to answer it, but the answering machine did it for me. And it was Mrs. Rolls. And she left this little message, and she said, hi, William, it's Mrs. Rolls. Just wanted to call and let you know I missed my morning hug, darling. Anyway, I just want to let you know we all love you, we miss you, and when you get a chance, sweetheart, you just give me a call and let me know you're okay, all right? All right, sugar, we love you. And I sat there and I just stared at those pages. And I closed the book and I thought, okay. Just one more day. And I sat in the middle of my living room, what felt like an eternity. And finally, my dad came home and he walked in the door and I said, Dad, I didn't go to school today. I didn't go to school today. And I started crying. He goes, whoa, buddy, it's all right. No problem. What's going on? I didn't go to school. But I gotta go to school tomorrow. I gotta go to school tomorrow because Miss Rolls is blowing up my phone. She like, baby, I miss you. I love you. I need my morning hug. Why are you so obsessed with me? So I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. And I did go to school. And I walked right in, and I looked right at Miss Rolls, and I said, I want to give you that morning hug. And I gave her this huge hug, and I just held her really tight. And I said, that's for yesterday. And then I want to give you the hug for today. And as I was hugging her, I said, Mrs. Rolls, I love you. She goes, I love you too, baby. I said, no, I really love you. More than you know. And she says, I love you too, baby. I'd love you more if you went to class. And I went to class that day. And I went to class the next day and the next day. She saved my life. All because of just a simple phone call. She didn't ask me where I was or what my permission slip is or I'm going to call your dad. She just told me she missed me. Who would miss this? The most violent kid in school? You missed that? And in that moment, all those words that I had written about myself, all of a sudden seemed false. So I share that message with you because I never want you to forget your impact. You know, those little conversations you have with your littles, they are listening, and those conversations, they define themselves. Because I'll tell you, one of the reasons why I thought like I was the worst student, why I wanted to not be on this planet anymore, is because I had a third grade teacher tell me, you are the worst student I have ever had. They only said it once. And do you know that conversation lives rent-free in my head today? So when you're with your littles, and sometimes they cute and sometimes they cute, but never forget your impact, both incredibly positive, but also could be incredibly destructive. We don't want to destroy, we want to grow. And so even when you say things like, good morning, I missed you, to you, it's just a good morning, I miss you. To them, is I get to take up space in this world. I belong. I matter to you. Because a lot of times they don't get that at home. They don't get unconditional love at home. You are the ones that show them that they're safe, that they matter, that they belong, and that it's going to be okay. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for loving those little nuggets. You guys are awesome. Told you I was going to need tissue. All right. So, do you have any mocos? Good? Okay, thank you. Gotta make sure. Bessie over here, Bessie. So, because of Mrs. Rolls, because of all of my friends, and a special shout out to my algebra teacher, Miss Chris Swimmer, who did make math fun. Whoop, whoop. I graduated high school. Yes. Woo-hoo. And I was on my way to college to major in? Structural engineering. No, just kidding. Musical theater. Really impressive on a job resume. Musical theater. And so it was actually in college that I experienced for the first time in my life the deaf and the hearing worlds collide on stage. Who here has ever been to a live theatrical production where you've seen two interpreters off to the side interpreting a show? It's incredible, right? It's incredible. I wasn't watching the show, I was watching them. I was so fascinated in how they were able to interpret the time periods and the relationship and the humor. And it didn't matter if they were interpreting for a man or a woman, they personified that actor and how they matched the actor's timing and how dance-like the lyrics were.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything you.
Oh, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can shoot a partridge with a single cartridge.
I can get a sparrow with a bow and arrow.
I can live on bread and cheese.
And only on that?
Yeah.
So can a rat.
Any note you can reach, I can go higher.
I can sing anything higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 Wow. How do you sing so high?
I'm a girl. Anything you can buy, I can buy cheaper. I can buy anything cheaper than you.
50 cents?
40 cents.
30 cents?
20 cents.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can say, I can say softer.
I can say anything softer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
I can drink my liquor faster than a flicker.
I can drink it quicker and get even sicker.
I can open any safe.
Without being caught?
Sure.
That's what I thought, you crook.
Any note you can hold, I can hold longer.
I can hold any note longer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you-
Yes, I can.
Yes, you play. Where do you keep all that air anyway?
Anything you can wear, I can wear better. In what you wear, I look better than you.
In my coat?
In your vest.
In my shoes?
In your hat.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can say, I can say faster.
I can say anything faster than you.
You can.
Just get.
You can.
Just get.
You can.
Get.
You can.
You
You
can.
can. You can. No, you can't. I can jump a hurdle.
I can wear a girdle.
I can knit a sweater.
I can fill it better.
I can do most anything.
Can you bake a pie?
No.
Neither can I.
Anything you can sing, I can sing sweeter.
I can sing anything sweeter than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 Oh, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No,
I
So I graduated college. My little musical theater degree. And I decided to move to sunny Los Angeles, California, to pursue my dream. And I've been performing ever since. Thank you. I even had the fortunate opportunity to work for a company called Deaf West Theater. And what's incredible about Deaf West is not only do they do plays and musicals, but half the cast is deaf, half the cast is hearing, and all of their shows are done simultaneously with ASL and spoken English. It's incredible. I was even part of their critically acclaimed show, Big River. Now, I had a special role in Big River. I was a voice actor. And so what that meant is I voiced one of the lead roles. And if you know Big River, I played the Duke. I voiced the Duke. Now, what a voice actor does is I was still on stage. I was in the ensemble. But what I did is I said all the lines and sang all the songs of the person playing the Duke, who is a deaf actor. And no matter what, I wasn't playing the role. I was voicing the role. Whatever his interpretation was is what I did. So however he signed it is how I said it or how I sang it. If he messed up a line, I messed up a line. If he stubbed his toe and said something I still cannot say here this morning, this afternoon, this evening, I had to say it. My sole role was to communicate to you lowly hearing people his incredible performance, making sure that he had full representation. That was my role. Now, I share that with you because the person that I voice is a very, very special person. His name is Troy Kotzer. Does anyone here know who Troy Kotzer is? Anyone? You know who Troy Kotzer is? Can you share with us? No? That's good. So that's okay. So Troy Kotzer won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in a movie called Coda. And that's what I am, right? I'm a child of a deaf adult. I'm a Coda. And that movie also won, right? That won the Academy Award. So what I'm trying to tell you is I've worked with an Academy Award winner. No, I'm kidding. No, what was incredible about it is to see on the most famous screen in the world my story, my life, my language, winning the best movie in the entire world. And it was so incredible. And of course, seeing a friend win, right? Win an Academy Award. But there was one thing about that experience that I really struggled with. And that was my mom wasn't alive to be able to see it. See, I lost my mom in 2020 at the very young age of 68. And I just would have loved to have watched her, to see her eyes just light up. Mama, that's our world, our life, our language. You, Mama, you belong. We belong. But I know my mom's up in heaven looking down. And no, Mama, I miss you. I love you. And I'll see you every night in my dreams. I also had another incredible performing opportunity, and that was I was a lead male singer on a cruise ship. Whatever, too late. Come on. No, but it was so incredible because there it was, like touring the world, and like, you know, we're performing every night, like my dream, right? We had an ABBA show, we had a Motown show, we had an opera show. Did I tell you we had an ABBA show? I was in a white polyester onesie with like huge platform boobs. It was a hot mess express. But anyway, but on that ship, we were required to do a one-person cabaret, like a one-man show, right? And I thought, what am I gonna do? I know. Why don't I sing and sign? I can share a little bit of my story, and I can teach drunk cruise ship passengers sign language. Yeah, kind of like today. No. And so I decided to title it Signing the Song. Well, after one of my performances of Signing the Song, I was approached by a couple that identified themselves as educators. And they said, wow, William, we're so inspired by Mrs. Freeman's story. Would you be willing to perform Signing the Song for a teachers' convention in Lakeland, Florida? Teachers want to hear a cruise ship singer at 9 in the morning? I mean, I'll do it. And it just so happened to have a little video clip from that performance. Do y'all want to see it? Yeah. You want to see it? Okay, can we dim the lights? Here we go. After one of my performances of Signing the Song, I was approached by a couple by the name of Harry and Rosemary Wong. And they identified themselves as educators. But I think all of us here know the massive impact that Harry and Rosemary Wong have had on the educational world, right? Yeah. They were so touched by Miss Freeman's story that they've given me the amazing opportunity to share it with all of you today. They flew me out from Los Angeles, California, so I could share with you the impact that she's had on mine and many other students' lives. But what's even more incredible, like this is the kicker, is that after 25 years, I get to say thank you to the teacher who changed my life. They have flown Miss Norma Freeman from Michigan, and she's sitting right there. Hi, Miss Freeman. So I knew with this opportunity, I couldn't just be like, hey, thanks for looking out, check you later. Like my thank you had to be really special, right? And the only way I could thank Miss Freeman was, of course, through music, the gift that she gave me. So this song was specifically written for this moment. to say thank you. I look at you, you look at me too, seeing the person that I have become. When I met you, I was a young boy, fresh-faced and wide-eyed. I knew not a thing. The world was large and I felt so small, and I knew I couldn't do it alone. But then you stepped in and guided me true. You were there for me. I see your face, you see my face too. I'm shiny and happy and grateful to you. I heard your voice, I heard your teachings, wisdom for life that I'll never forget. What I learned from you, I use every day. When you shaped my mind, you shaped my life too, giving me a hand through life's ups and downs. You have changed my I hold your hand, you hold my hand too, coming full circle to meet here today. I see your face, and I need to say, Marley, wait. Oh, Marley. Oh, no. Why am I crying? I was there. I know what happened. You see my good side, though. Oh, my goodness. I love you, Marley. Ay, Dios. Okay. Ay, gracias. I am right there. Thank you. But this? I'm good? Okay. Thank you. Whew. Oh, William. All this guy did was come to this conference and cry and sing. It was terrible. It was so, come on, William. It was so incredible. Thank you. There you go. It was so incredible to see Miss Freeman get recognized by 2,000 of her peers. There was 2,000 teachers there that morning. And Harry and Rosemary Wong, do y'all know who that is? Some of you maybe. If you don't, no worries. Harry and Rosemary Wong wrote one of the most exceptional classroom management books called The First Days of School. And so this is incredible for her, but also for me to have them sitting there and to see her get honored. So, okay, so the show ends. Oh, here's something. I normally don't tell this to people too, but they never told Miss Freeman what the show was going to be about. They called her and they said, we're going to be doing professional development. We'd love to invite you, and one of your alumni is going to sing a song. Child, I sang like 4 songs. But she had no idea, and she was sitting right in the front row. And so as I'm like doing my keynote, I'm talk, I had to like arc. I couldn't look at her because I knew I'd just start crying, because that's very rare for me to cry. So I was like, I can't look at her. And so anyway, so the show ends, everything's, and Dr. Wong invites Ms. Freeman to come up to say a couple words. And he said, Norma, what did it feel like to have your student, William Martinez, stand up here and sing and sign, thank you, after not seeing him for 25 years? Her response? It's incredible. She never once took credit. She spoke of the power of music. She spoke of the power of music in schools. Can I get a what? But she also said, every student deserves a chance. Every student. She continued on to say, it doesn't matter what they look like, what they smell like, how much money their parents have or don't have. It doesn't matter even who their parents voted for. What that child deserves is a safe space to feel totally loved, to be able to grow, to be able to share. That's our job. And this is someone who didn't know this keynote was about her. She just came up there and extemporaneously just shared this incredible wisdom. She got a 2.5-minute standing ovation. It was incredible. Well, it was the end of the keynote. Everyone's kind of leaving the auditorium, whatever, and Miss Freeman comes up to me and she goes, oh, William, sweetheart, oh gosh. That was such a beautiful tribute. I just want to thank you so very much for all the things that you said. And you sounded glorious, but there's just one thing that I have to share with you. And I just need to tell you one thing. And that is, I don't remember you. And you know what? That was the best gift that she could have ever given me. You know why she didn't remember me? Because I wasn't the worst student she'd ever had. But she loved me because she loved me for me. She loved me because she loved all of us for us. She treated us all with her unconditional love. She showed true equity in that classroom. I wasn't the one kid that she saved. I was just hers. She also taught for 25 years, William. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of kids. But in that moment, that lie, remember I shared with you earlier that I was the worst student in the world, that had lived rent-free in my head, it all of a sudden became untrue. She freed me from a lie that I had been believing in myself for so long. And all she said was, I don't remember this magical moment. And that's what I want to share with you, is there's going to be those moments where you do say, good morning, I missed you. And that was 2 seconds as you're running down the hall or doing the thing, or you're giving them a book to read or whatever. And the minute you say, I miss you, their whole life changes. Someone misses me? Why would you miss me? Even my parents don't miss me. And you know what? Then I'm going to read that book. I'm still going to give you problems. But you know what? Less and less. And I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight to learn. I'm going to fight to live. And I'm going to miss you every weekend. The other thing I want to share with you about Miss Freeman is that a lot of people ask me after my keynote, they say, oh, wow, Miss Freeman, she must have just taken you under her wing and spent all this time. No. You know what Miss Freeman did? She spoke to me for 5 minutes. It was that 5 minute. I showed it to you. That's why she doesn't remember. She had 80 kids in that choir, but she took 5 minutes and she intentionally and just connected with me and defined me. You are a singer. Little William Martinez did the rest. Think about that when you're with your kids. You're a reader. You're a writer. You are an expert at colors. Wow, you are brilliant at counting. It seems simple for us to say, they make a decision. I'm brilliant at counting. And pretty soon, math's easy. Why? Because I have the foundation that I'm already an expert. Because you told me. You define your children by just those little you are statements. You're the best at this. I couldn't do this without you. Oh, I miss you. You're the best hugger. No one can line up the kids as you do. They feel important and worth it, seen, safe, and loved. All right. Another question that a lot of times people ask me about Miss Freeman, and I want to share with you, is a couple years after that performance, Dr. Wong emailed me, and he said if I had ever heard of the Stephen Sondheim Inspirational Teacher Awards given up by the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and I said I hadn't, but it sounded like it had Miss Freeman's name all over it. And so I wrote this essay as to why I believe Miss Freeman should win. And they emailed me back and they said, we're going to announce the winners on March 27, 2017. So I went online, and this is what I saw. She won. Yeah. And I was so excited. I called her, I'm like, Miss Freeman, you won. She's like, well, I know. They sent me a check for $10,000. As your agent, but she's like, do you know how many dry erase markers that is? And I can buy a guitar for everybody. She's so cute. But anyway, so she's retired now. She still conducts a couple senior choirs. So every time I call her, I'm like, Miss Freeman, how's it going? She's like, well, nobody died. We got all 4 parts. She's so cute. But she's incredible. And also, I talk to her about once a month. I just get to share with her all the incredible human beings that I get to meet and share about her impact and your impact. And I go, Miss Freeman, all because of a 5-minute interaction is why I'm standing up here today. All because you took just a little bit of your time to define me as someone whole, perfect, and complete. So that's Miss Freeman. A lot of times, too, people ask me about my dad. You know, my mama is up in heaven looking down. My dad is wonderful. He lives in Denver, Colorado. He is still telling the same jokes that he's been telling since I was a young boy. And I'm still laughing, but I love him. He's amazing. He's my best friend. Another question that a lot of people ask me is, William, why are you dressed like a waiter? It's true, because I do like large conferences like hotels and stuff too. And I'll be in the outside in the lobby and like getting coffee or something, and inevitably, someone will walk in and be like, excuse me, hi, you're out of whole milk, and do you have oat milk? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I don't know where the milk is. You don't know where the milk is? Like the Hilton just ran out of milk? Unbelievable. You just can't get any good help here. Come on, let's go. Thanks, sir. And then, of course, Heather comes out and introduces me. Ladies and gentlemen, William Martinez, good morning. Still don't know where the milk is, girl. How we doing? But so the reason why I'm dressed like a waiter is because I know that I am borrowing the deaf language. I'm borrowing ASL. And it is very important for me that if I'm using ASL, if there's anyone here that is deaf, hard of hearing, or even just speaks ASL, and speaks is the right terminology, if they speak ASL, they have to have the same experience as all of you. Because here's the thing, if there was someone that was deaf or hard of hearing, we would have interpreters. They would be here on the side, and what would they be wearing? What do interpreters wear? They wear black. And why? To see your hands, right? Because the thing is, if you got some cute top like TJ Maxx, and you look real good, you're like, no, I look good in salmon, But it's tiring on the eyes. If they're watching you the whole time, it's tiring on the eyes. It gives your body neutrality, and so you can move around. You got your facial expression in your hands, but they can focus on your hands and not that cute top you got at the TJ Maxx, right? But because I know I'm borrowing the deaf language, they have to have the same experience. Because what I'm doing, I'm communicating with you mostly with spoken English, but I oftentimes give you a little taste of ASL. But I'm not doing what's called SimCom, which means simultaneously communicating, which means that I would be doing full ASL and full speech. And it's a little too much for my keynote. But if I have someone that's deaf or hard of hearing, they would be watching most of my speech, but when I sing, I'm full ASL. And they have to have the same experience that all of you have. Why? Because access to language is a human right. So that's why I'm dressed like a waiter. And also, does the vest make me look skinny? That wasn't a joke. Why are you laughing? Okay. All right. So let me bring all this back to you here, all of you here this morning, you incredible human beings. So right when we first started, I asked you to raise your hand if you, I want to do one other thing. I want to share with you my contact information. Some of you asked me before this session. This is my contact information. I'm really active on the social media. I post videos and I think I'm funny. Think I'm funny. But those are my social media. That QR code will take you to my website. And you can find out more information about me. I also just launched a Belong collection on there. I think all of you, do you all get the little folder, the little binder in your bags? Yes, perfect. So that's part of the Belong collection. I think Wendy here is wearing one of the sweatshirts, We All Belong, which has the ASL for Belong there. If you want to, you certainly can do that and become part of the Belong family. But yes, so that's my QR code. Okay, now you know how to get a hold of me. And if you email me, I personally email back. I will totally chat with you. All right, so let me bring all this back to you here, all of you here today. When we first started, when you first all came in, I asked you to raise your hand if you had that special educator, that special person at school that made that significant impact in your life. And now I'm gonna ask you to do me one more favor. It's the last favor, I promise, we're almost done. I want you to close your eyes. I know. Just go on the journey with me. I promise you, I will tell you when to open them up again. Just close your eyes. And I want you to envision your classroom filled with your little students looking at you, raising their hands because you are that educator. You are that person for them. You see, you're incredible human beings in their eyes, even though they don't show it, but a lot of times they don't know it yet. And it's because of someone like you that I'm standing up here today. Because of someone like you, they're growing up to feel important, worth it, seen, safe, and loved, unconditionally loved. All right, open your eyes. I'm gonna teach you the last sign. Show me the sign for teach. Keep it there, close it into fists. Place it over your head like this. Good, now explode it out. That's the sign for dreams. Teach becomes dreams. Teachers, educators make dreams come true. So we're gonna put all of our signs that we learned together. You ready? Together, we can teach the world and everyone around us, stop complaining, you're powerful. Get in action. Love yourself, show love to others, so we all get to follow our dreams. Once again, together, we can teach the world and everyone around us, you better stop complaining, you're powerful. You better get in action, I'm your power buddy. Love yourself unconditionally and show love to every single person you meet unconditionally. So we all get to follow our dreams. Each and every one of you have the ability to inspire a generation. And as president of the Really Weird Kids Club, I say thank you for giving every single one of your students a chance. My name is William Martinez. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you. No, okay, wait. In the deaf world, this is how we clap. It's also jazz hands, but whatever. Have a fantastic rest of your year. I love all of you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. I love you. Oh, thank you. You have a question? Okay, wait, are we at break yet? No, I think we're still going.
Yeah, we're still going.
We're still going. Sorry about it. Yes.
Still going. Am I on? Yeah. Oh my, I don't know. I probably have makeup all down my face. Like that was just, it gets me every time. That is not my first time at that rodeo, but every time it gets me. So one more time, just, it's a beautiful place with William in it, isn't it? So thank you for sharing your beautiful talent, William. Okay, we are going to do some giveaways, some door prizes if you want to hang around. If you feel the need to hit the road, you're welcome to do that. So if you're going to leave like now, you need to take your assessment out in the lobby and trade it in for your certificate. And then if you want to hang around and do some door prizes, you'll do that after we're done. So give us just 1 minute to get things set up here and we'll get going.